Hi, I'm Rock, and I'm going to give you Piercing Warehouse's aftercare instructions for surface piercings. The most important thing with any new piercing is keeping it clean. You don't want to touch it unless you have just washed your hands. You need to keep it out of everybody's mouth for a couple of weeks. If it's a belly button or something like that, you need to keep it out of submerged water. Don't take baths in hot tubs, swimming pools for a couple of weeks. Stick with showers. You need to keep makeup, hair products, lotions, tanning accelerators, and everything else out of and away from your piercings. Wash your hands 3 or 4 times a day with warm water and antibacterial soap. Get a good lather with lots of suds on your fingertips. Work it around the jewelry and the piercing. Rinse your hands. Rinse the piercing until it runs clear. Make sure you get all the soap off so it doesn't dry the skin out. This is Bactine. Bactine is a mild antiseptic. A lot of people will keep it in their first aid kit or in their medicine cabinet for cuts, scratches, and scrapes. It's available at any store that has a first aid section and generally runs right around $5. After you've washed your piercing, no more than 2 or 3 times a day, put a little bit of Bactine on a Q-tip, just enough to get it moist. You don't need to saturate it. If your piercing is one with a barbell or a curved barbell, like a belly button ring, push in on one side of the barbell and on the opposite side of the piercing so that that opposite ball and as much of the post as possible comes up away from the piercing. And use the Q-tip to scrub the bottom of the ball or the side of the ball, whatever, as well as the post and the piercing, and get that buildup off of there. The balls on barbells tighten clockwise, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. You do want to make sure that they are tight, especially before you go to bed. When you get up in the morning, if you're athletic or have any activities like that, it's a good idea to check them before and after, also with your clean hands. You do not want to spray the Bactine directly on the piercing, and you don't want to use it more than 2 or 3 times a day. If you use too much or you use it too often, it will dry the skin out, turn it red, make it sore, and you will think that it is infected when it's not. Most people then put more Bactine on because they don't know better. The only other thing we recommend putting on there is salt water. You can buy a product called H2 Ocean, which is purified ocean water, or you can go to a place like Walmart or Target and buy a jar of sea salt about that big for about $2 and a gallon of distilled water. Mix about 1/4 teaspoon of the sea salt in with a small cup of the distilled water with your clean fingers and blot some of it on the piercing. Let it air dry, or after a couple of minutes pat it dry. If this is a belly button piercing, you need to watch out for things like pulling your pants up too fast, big belt buckles, leaning over on things like counters. A lot of them have lips on them. Cribs in or out of car windows if you go cruising or you're a mechanic. Also dogs and toddlers. Big dogs will jump on you. Little dogs will get in your lap and launch yourselves off. Toddlers will see it. It's just the right height. It's shiny. They're going for it. And if you pick up a baby or a toddler, the first thing they will do is put their knees or their feet in your stomach, and then they'll wrap their legs around you to feel secure. And if it's a belly button piercing and you aren't paying attention, you aren't going to like it. Okay, if this is a piercing with a horseshoe, make sure that you flip the horseshoe up and down and rotate it a little bit after you've cleaned it with the Bactine to keep it from growing attached to the skin. And generally any surface piercing can be changed out in 4 to 6 weeks as long as there is no redness, soreness, swelling, or discharge. At our shop, we will change jewelry out for free, whether the new jewelry is bought from us or brought here. Many shops charge $5 to $20 just to change the jewelry out. But then again, we charge $20 per piercing, or 2 or more. The same person are only $15 each. Thanks. Come visit us at Piercing Warehouse in Spartanburg, South Carolina. 864-576-8584.